Welcome to the channel. My name is Patrick with 228.com, and today we are going to demonstrate how we set up the white balance control in our camera app. Now, before we get into the code, I just want to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So here's my screen. I have it recorded on QuickTime. I'm going to go into the app. All right, and this is a picture my daughter made. I'm going to click the white balance button, and a slider is going to come up, and this slider is what's going to adjust the white balance. So we're going to slide it. There we go. And we can make it cooler. We can make it warmer. And we can just set it in the middle. We can get the optimal. And we can tap the button again, and the slider disappears. All right. So how did we do this feature? Let me get rid of my QuickTime. All right. So just to walk you through the code, I didn't record me making this because it took me a while to figure it out and actually find some examples of this. But here is the code. Now, of course, we need a slider right here. Okay. And we're going to return this object. So we're going to make it continuous. And what does that mean? It's a Boolean that indicates whether changes in the slider's value generate continuous updates. So we're going to make this a continuous update kind of deal because we're adjusting the slider. Enabled is a Boolean indicating whether the control is enabled. Yes, it is enabled. We need that. Is hidden is a Boolean value that makes the slider not appear in the view. We're gonna set our minimum value right now to 0 and our max value to 1 with our slider value at 0.5. Now this will change when you start interacting with the slider. But this is just when you initially launch the app, it'll be in the middle of the slider. So the next thing is user enabled, user interaction enabled. And this is a Boolean value that determines whether user events are ignored or removed from the event. And of course we have our target action, and that selector is going to be adjust white balance. So here we return the slider. So now we'll start with the action. Okay. I don't even know if we use these calls. We might, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to go through but the one we do use is bar white balance modes, which gets us all the white balance modes of locked, continuous, and auto updating. So open developer. Here it is right here. So you get locked, which is setting that's locked, auto white balance, forms an auto white balance operation now, and continuous auto white balance. Device continuously monitors white balance and adjusts when necessary. And this is what the one we need the most, because it'll continuously monitor this. All right, let's get out of this documentation. Go down to, oh, put it this way. Which one do I go to? Button. White balance. All right, so here's all the white balance stuff. We made a function to normalize gains to get at the red gain, the green gain, and the blue gain, because these are the values that we needed to get at. Okay, So, and then we used it up here in set white balance gains. You need to lock the configuration for the device, uh, set up a variable or property uh, for normalized gains, set white gains balance locked, normalized gains completion handler nil. Then we'll unlock our configuration, saying that we locked our configuration in. And I believe we call it in our setup hub. Okay, so this is our setup hub method, our HUD method, where we get that white balance modes variable, and we need this continuous auto white balance and lock method. We let the white balance gains be the device white balance gains, or the AV capture if we didn't set this up. So the white balance temperature intent. This variable has the temperature and intent values, and this is also a float. So that's where these numbers come in. I knew that somewhere the slider value had to manipulate some values into something that I could manipulate or adjust. All right, so this is whenever we set up the HUD, we change the minimum value of the slider to 1800 and a maximum value to 9800. Now, where I got these two values from was from the Moment camera. Their white balance minimum value are 1800 and 9800. And I kind of wanted the same effect, excuse me. So that's why I use these values. And this white balance value is a float as well. And you get that from the white balance temperature and tint. Temperature, white balance color is, so these are Kelvin, 1800 Kelvin, 9800 Kelvin. And we made sure that the slider is enabled. We could probably go back and change this. Actually, let's do that now, since we enabled it down there. Let's see if this affects anything. Before you delete any code, always comment it out. Let's see if we can comment these out too. Because if we can delete code, it's always a good thing. All right, and the other thing were these two, because I don't really use these. I'm not quite sure what I need them for, so. All right. So let's bring this QuickTime back, and we're gonna build and run. Oh, we're gonna build and run on my phone. All right, QuickTime. Let's see if my phone is oh, there it is. There you go. Everything's connected. This is gonna take some time because I have OBS running and I have Xcode running, and yeah, I'm not sure if OBS runs or likes everything that Xcode does, and vice versa. It just takes a lot of computing power on my MacBook Air. All right, so here is our picture. We click the white balance and we adjust. Everything's looking good. We go the other way. We have our white balance. Pretty cool. All right. So now let's do some cleanup since we don't need, let's stop it running. can delete these delete. Clean up our code a little bit as we go. One of the things that I wanted to do was kind of clean up the code as I went. Since this is a reincarnation of the first camera app that I made, a little bit better UI, some better some better features on it. I really wanted to be mindful of the way things were laid out, and yeah, make sure the code was as clean as possible. I think that's gonna be about it. Oh, and if you have a better way to do this, so this is for the button to show slider, and I'll bring up QuickTime right here. So it'll have my phone up. Cancel. Okay, so let's tap Pix.l. So the white balance button right here, shake my, right here, this one right here. Okay, here's my daughter's picture. You tap it and it shows the slider, and you tap it again and it disappears. Tap it, show the slider, tap it again, it disappears. All right. So if there is a better way to dismiss or change this line of code right here, please leave a comment in the section below. I would love to hear the resolve from that. Oh, I forgot this one. All right, so let me put my phone away. Let's talk about this for a minute. So this is the method to adjust the white balance. This is where it all comes together. This function right here, I'm gonna highlight right here, adjust white balance. So we get the temperature and temp from the AV capture device, white balance, temperature, and temp. And this temperature right here will be the slider value. So that gives me the current temperature of the photo. And then the tint was a float, okay? And I didn't want to mess with anything in the float. This tint temperature goes from negative 150 to 150. And I just wanted to leave that the way it is. Self-light white balance will be capture device white balance with temperature and tint. So it takes what I did here and puts it in the device for temperature and tint. So this is where the magic all comes together, right there. I have to show that. All right. So in conclusion, we have a white balance adjustment on our camera phone, on our camera app, our full screen camera app at that. And we have that feature. So that'll do it, guys. I might make a tutorial out of this whole project after it's all said and done. So just be on the lookout for that. All right. Thank you for watching.